go ahead. You're back on, sir.
Interview by handicap.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Yeah. I see a tremendous potential for, as I started to say, in terms of, for example, during World War II, bombardiers were selected by people who had I believe it was a reaction time of a half a second. Because there had to be, with the viewfinder, there had to be a quick response from the time it came into the view to the time that the bombs were released. And today, kids that play games have half of that as a norm. They're down to a response time of less than a quarter of a second. Their way of thinking. We're seeing cognitive, we're seeing reactive kinds of ways that young people are thinking. We don't know all the different things that are going on in ways of analyzing things, looking at things, but certainly technology is changing the way people think, the way they process information and so forth. And cloud technology takes it away from a lot of what I think are some of the negative ways of exploring ideas and concepts, and says, let's look at a more creative, let's look at a more cooperative, collaborative design in putting together ideas, putting together projects, putting together companies. Let's look at different models. We've learned a lot by studying some of the styles of, quote, Japanese management as opposed to American know-how and so forth. We've learned a lot of different ways of analyzing corporations and so forth. I think cloud technology has the potential to have us start to look at how in a meaningful way technology can assist us in more gentle ways of thinking, more gentle ways of producing things, of running companies, running universities, teaching students. There's going to be a huge impact in the way I would teach a classroom. I was sitting there the other night, I was trying to think, now what kind of a curriculum or what kind of class would I have if I had to take these students and suddenly transform them from the funnel technology of pouring information into their happy little heads and say, let's get them. I mean, I used to do certain things with team teaching. I used to do some things with projects. I was very interested at one point in working with simulation games. I like that simulation theory, especially as a motivator. I don't know. I would be intrigued to be into the classroom game these days and have this kind of access to technology. I think it'll be a challenge for faculty to sit there and say, how can I really maximize this in terms of the discipline I'm trying to communicate?
And what would your advice to them be?
Be patient. And, the stereotype thinking is to think outside the box. Forget the box, there's no box. Okay, think without precepts, which is very hard for us all to do. It's very hard to sit there and say, well, I can just remove all these precepts and historical antecedents and so forth and come up with something. I think it will be best served if there's a lot of collaboration on the faculty part and sitting there with everybody share, who's doing what and how's it working.
Right.
This is like, if I've never seen finger painting and you gave me a paper and something, what would I do?
Hold on a second.
Hold that thought.